Hello and welcome to Stocks to Watch, a platform to help you build smart investment portfolios. I am Munir Barazi, your business analyst and host, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Jean Feneck, the president of Feneck Consulting, a firm that offers comprehensive insights and analysis to empower investors to make good decisions and navigate equity markets. John, welcome on the show.
Thanks for having me, Munir.
Absolutely. So today I want to discuss with you the investment thesis behind Golden Cariboo Resources, listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange as GCC. It's also listed on the German markets and on the OTC markets. You've been following this company for quite a while now. So what attracted you about it to begin with?
Sure. The OTC ticker is GCCFF for any listeners in the US. Basically, one of the, as many people know, I follow management first before anything. That's our first screen. The project is a close second. And we like to see a history of success from that particular CEO, right? Someone who has 20 plus years in the business, has seen multiple market cycles. And Frank Callaghan checks those boxes for us. Frank came out of retirement to work on Golden Cariboo, the current project we're talking about, because he's that excited about it, right? And he has been in that region, which is British Columbia, two other times and put two other mines into production, right? So like there's something you can point to there where I like to see people that don't try to work in various jurisdictions all over the world and try to reinvent the wheel. This is someone who clearly understands what this region of Canada can produce and is capitalizing on that. So anytime you see someone who has had success in a sector come out of retirement, it's worth a phone call to say what got you out of bed to do this. And I think the project has a lot of merit.
Yes, and speaking of which, the project, the Quesnelle Gold Quartz, I know you're not a geologist, but recently the company announced very promising grade results and the length over which those grades extend. So, what can you tell us about the potential for expansion in this project?
Sure. So it's a project that is open at all sides, right? And it is actually surrounded by Osisko Development on three of the sides. And right now, if you look at their results, they basically have come out with 8 holes. In our view, hole number 8, which just was released a few weeks ago, has the most significance. They just put a press release out today saying that holes 9 through 12 are pending at the lab, the assays. So that's exciting because there's going to be another, 4 holes coming here relatively soon. So I think that will tell us more about what's happening, but clearly they're moving fast, and that's what we like to see is someone that's going for it in a hot gold market.
Yes, there's so much to look forward to in the upcoming steps in the drilling campaign. And you've been following the share price as well. And recently it responded very positively to the announcement of the beginning of the drilling campaign on this project. So what do you think the primary factors were that pushed this stock price up? And do you think this momentum will continue?
Yeah, I mean, the stock did ascend with gold's rise in price here over the last 6 months. And they did an initial financing, of course, and are now in the middle of a second financing. And when you do a financing, Munir, obviously it's a little bit of a drag on the stock price. So that's what's occurring as we speak, is that the stock is under a little bit of selling pressure because they are in the midst of, they've closed one tranche and are closing the second tranche imminently. So I think once we get through that period of time, investors will see the stock price move up again based on good results and just having that overhang out of the way.
Yeah, it's normal to see fluctuations in the short term. And speaking of the latest funding rounds, the company is now raising approximately $2.5 million in a private placement. And you also mentioned other funding rounds. So how long can the company sustain its drilling campaign based on how much cash they have?
That's a great question. I mean, every exploration company in mining needs cash. It's a cash intensive business. The good news is that Frank owns all of the equipment. So the cost per hole for this particular company is much lower than a lot of the names that we track. I would argue that this 2.5 million would cash them up probably through, November, December of this year. And then based on success, they would probably do another raise. But the idea here is that it's around July 1st, right? You've got a lot of runway in a hot gold market between July 1st and call it December. So that's why we're investing now.
And for investors who are still on the fence, they haven't made their decision yet.
Mhm.
Why do you believe Golden Cariboo Resources is a compelling investment opportunity today?
Well, a lot of things that we look for, management, as we mentioned, we look at the jurisdiction, British Columbia, very mining friendly. We look at the project itself, it's got a lot of merit. Frank has actually constructed a team in the field with a lot of people that helped him on the previous two mines that he put into production, right? So, like, that's a positive. When we look at the share structure, very, very tight. Fully diluted, you're looking at 58 million shares. And I would argue that probably not a lot of that is free trading. So it's a thinly traded stock, yes, but in an up market, that actually helps you. And if you want some idea as an investor, go back and look at 2016, go back and look at 2020, pick any of your favorite gold stocks that were thinly traded and tightly held. And those stocks did extremely well based on good results and obviously delivering to, the goals that they set out.
Yes, and as you mentioned earlier, the fact that Frank came out of retirement to work on this property is a very good signal indeed. John Feneck, the president of Feneck Consulting, thank you so much for sharing those insights about Golden Caribou Resources, GCC. Very helpful. Looking forward to hearing more from you very soon.
My pleasure, Munir. Thank you.